Alright, the colony of Slippermen. Just to let you know, I wasn't faking it. I actually did write down like 4 pages of notes. I started out with the video from the guy that Ken sent, and I tried to write down what he was doing, and he was about 90% of the way there, and through listening to the studio and live versions, and I think I got to about like 99%. Close enough. Slipperman changes patches, or changes keyboard sounds quite a bit. Like the guy in the video, he was constantly changing between one keyboard and the next. Of course, we don't have all those keyboards. Maybe I can bring my MIDI controller, and then we have Ken's 88 key thing, unless he sold that. Anyway, since I don't have patches for a lot of this, I'll just place a few things on the piano. So I don't have it all down yet, but you can see it's not proving to be as difficult as I had imagined. I do have some patches that will work for Slipperman already. I'm using an emulator of the ARP Pro Soloist. This is an odd thing about Tony Banks, is that most players like Keith Emerson, Rick Wakeman were using the Moog synthesizers, while Tony used ARP synthesizers for the most part. ARP was the main competitor to Moog in the earlier part of the 70s, before other makers started showing up like Oberheim and like the Prophet 5s. So the ARP 2600 was pretty much similar to the Moog modular. The ARP Odyssey was kind of the equivalent of the Mini Moog. What Tony Banks used for selling England by the Pound and The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway is something called the ARP Pro Soloist. And it's kind of funny because it's a true synthesizer like the other ARP synthesizers, but it has preset sounds, which seems kind of lame, but certainly Tony Banks was able to get a lot of use out of it. It had some advanced features for its time, such as aftertouch. Now, I don't think any other synth at that time had anything like velocity or aftertouch, and so he would assign a bend, note bend to the aftertouch, or vibrato to the aftertouch. So like this sound right here, if you press down, you can hear the vibrato let up, the vibrato stops. Vibrato, no vibrato. And so that was a kind of a unique thing at the time. Now I also have an emulation of the Hammond L122, which is the particular Hammond organ that Tony Banks used, especially in the early albums. And so I've set up a split patch that combines the Hammond in the left hand and the Pro Soloist in the right hand. same combination of patches is used for the solo from In the Cage. And then the preset on the Pro Soloist changes to a slightly different patch. And then for the verse part of the In the Cage, there's organ in the right hand, and well, the guitar plays this semi-distorted phaser sound. It would also kind of work for the Slippermen. We also have an indoor pond with a goldfish and lily pads and stuff like that. Hey fish. Fish is hiding. There's too many cats.